Welcome back to Network Africa. We're still keeping our eyes on the issue of migration. Hundreds of migrants who have been stranded in Serbia for months are living rough near Hungary's fortified border. However, they continue to hope that they will eventually be able to cross undetected and continue their journey towards Western Europe for a better life.
Migrants camp in woods, waiting to enter Europe. The migrants, mostly young men from Pakistan and Afghanistan, endure the winter in improvised shelters and light tents, as well as derelict farmhouses in the area. They either couldn't find a place in formal crowded reception camps in Serbia, or were even unwilling to try because most are far from the border they want to cross.
There is a lot of people living in old buildings, more than 100 like this. People lives in jungle. There are two places. One is near 3-4 kilometers, and other is maybe 10 above than 10 kilometers.
Zubaira, a migrant from Pakistan, says he has been caught 8 times but refuses to give up. He explains that after he was caught in Hungary, he was beaten and stripped of winter clothing before being sent back.
8 times. What happened? And Hungary police catch and beat me, and my clothes very problem.
Hungary was the first country to stop the influx of people in the 2015-2016 migration crisis, building a heavily secured fence along its borders with Serbia and Croatia. It's difficult to estimate how many people linger in Serbia's border zone towards Hungary, but around 300 to 500 people appear for the daily food handout organized by a non-governmental aid organization, the Fresh Response, based in the nearby border city, Subotica. The migrants mostly live in small groups of friends and acquaintances. Tents, standalone or in groups of 3 to 4, are strewn across a 3 to 10 kilometer deep area from the border fence into Serbia. At the peak of the migration crisis, thousands of people, many of them refugees from war zones in the Middle East, crossed the so-called Balkan route from Greece across Macedonia and Serbia to Hungary until it closed its border, then through Croatia and Slovenia towards Austria. According to latest UNHCR figures, as at the end of last week, there were around 7,700 migrants in the country, 6,500 of them in 17 formal reception camps, where they live in heated and service facilities.
Zimbabwe's Constitutional Court has dismissed a case brought by protest leader Promise Mwanazi challenging President Robert Mugabe's rule. The case was dismissed on grounds of technicality. The Tajamuka pressure group leader wanted to prove that the 92-year-old president is unfit to hold office given his advanced age. But the court threw out the application, saying Mr. Mwanazi had failed to serve Mr. Mugabe with the papers. He has 30 days to address the technicalities and reapply. Addressing the media outside the court in the capital Harare, he says he will be back and that Mr. Mugabe must be held accountable for his actions. A police commander in Laikipia in central Kenya has been airlifted to the capital Nairobi for specialized treatment after he was shot during a gunfight with herdsmen. Umbelengo Muhari was leading an operation against pastoralists who have raided private farms in the past few months. He was rushed to a local hospital to receive treatment, from where he was airlifted. Era County Commissioner Onesmus Musyoki says the operation is still ongoing. Rebels in Cabinda have called on people in Angola's oil-rich region to boycott parliamentary elections in August. FLEC is a rebel movement that has for decades been seeking independence for the enclave, which is sandwiched between Democratic Republic of Congo and the Republic of Congo. In a statement, the group says it will not participate in a foreign election. Last week, Angola's President José Eduardo dos Santos, one of Africa's longest-serving leaders, confirmed that he will step down before the elections. An elite unit of soldiers in Côte d'Ivoire who mutinied yesterday in Adiaki still appear to be unhappy This comes despite negotiation attempts by the Chief of Staff's office. According to the AFP News, the Special Forces have been shooting in the air again. The Ivorian Special Forces will report directly to the President's office of accused the commanders of stealing parts of their salaries. This comes a month after regular soldiers staged a mutiny over pay and working conditions. The government agreed to the demands of the mutinous soldiers, but the payout has angered other segments of the military, raising fears of a resurgence of violence. With a love for shoes and the goal to create a manufacturing sector for quality footwear in Nigeria, entrepreneur Babajide Ikpaye has created Kicks, an Africa-inspired brand, with a social brief. Take a look.
Nigerian entrepreneur Babajide Ikpaye has always been a sneaker fanatic, but when he was 18, at shoe size 48, he couldn't find a shoe he liked that fit quite right. Years passed. He studied microbiology at the University of Lagos and worked in the tech industry. And then in 2015, as he turned 40, he decided to make his own shoes. Ikpaye is the creator and founder of Kicks, an Africa-inspired quality sneaker brand.
What we've started with is this style, which I designed whilst I was studying in the Netherlands, and it's formed like a canvas. When I mean a canvas, I'm talking about a plain board or a piece of paper where you can paint stuff on. The Kicks brand is actually an Afrocentric brand.
The sneakers are produced in Netherlands, where he studied innovative shoe production, but designed here at his office in Lagos. Nigeria's manufacturing sector is in a poor state. Electricity and raw materials are scarce and expensive because there's shortage of the US dollars. The economy is mired in its first recession in 25 years, and high inflation has driven up prices of even the most basic goods. Ikpaye was able to raise $20,000 through crowdfunding, money that went into producing and launching his first collection.
If we're setting up the factory in Nigeria, we have a ready market to take it up, because that has been the key challenge of manufacturing. You can't set up a manufacturing company and not have a channel to push out the products.
Beyond the aesthetics, Ikpaye says Kicks is also about social enterprise. He wants to sell at least 15,000 pairs of sneakers by the end of this year so he can prove the viability of the market to investors and make enough money to move the manufacturing operation out of the Netherlands into Nigeria, where there's desperate need for jobs.
And that's it on Network Africa. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Temitope Fagbemi.